Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is your justice analyst Kirill from Belarus living in Germany, and today we will continue with the Eurovision 2025 analysis videos. Today it's time for my personal favorite Eurovision country, and it's Norway. Why is it my personal favorite? Well, my love to Eurovision really began with one particular Norwegian entry. And I still think that Secret Garden with Nocturne is the best Eurovision winner ever. Generally, Norway is having great musical scene. Their national selection is always full of good songs, but in comparison to Sweden, somehow they don't manage to be always so stable with very good results. Sometimes they don't qualify. Sometimes they're somewhere by the end of the table in the final voting, like last year, for example. But sometimes they also surprise with very good entries, finishing in top 3, top 5, top 10, or even winning the contest. And this year Norwegian Melodi Grand Prix was unfortunately a little bit shorter than usually. It was just one show, just one final. I of course couldn't miss such a fantastic show, so I have watched the Norwegian Melodi Grand Prix this year, and I think the lineup was great. We had two huge comebacks. For example, band Wigwam wanted to represent Norway again in Eurovision 20 years later. I think they were true rock stars, but unfortunately their result was not so high. And another huge comeback, band Bobby Sox, who won Eurovision in 1985, wanted to come back even 40 years after their victory. I think these two ladies are absolutely fantastic. I was lucky to see them live in the previous years at some pre-party, so I was really rooting for them, and I think Joyful was such a beautiful ABBA tribute, such a nice nostalgic song. Fan favorite Nataline with the song The Game, who has actually composed the song Queen of Kings for Alessandro 2 years ago. Unfortunately has disappointed with her live performance. I think she has really lacked some energy. But for me, the biggest disappointment of the night was the amount of autotune they have used. I know that already a couple of years ago they have introduced this option for the singers that they can use it, which was of course given advantage to some of them, but still it was not so extreme as I think this year. I think this year each and every of those performers had a lot of autotune, so sometimes you could even see that the person is struggling, not having support, but then what comes out sounds absolutely excellent, like a pre-recorded track. So I'm not sure if it was just only autotune or they were also using the pre-recorded tracks. I think this is a bit of a dangerous road, because then they can end up having singers not really being able to perform their songs on the Eurovision stage. And our winner, Kyle Alessandro, is just 18 years old. He will turn 19 in March, and he already is known to the Eurovision fans because 2 years ago he was already taking part while he was just 16 years old in the Norwegian Melodi Grand Prix with two of his friends and the band Umami Tsunami. They were performing Sol Geronimo, which unfortunately finished in last place in the final. Kyle's father is Spanish, his mother is Norwegian, so this kind of explains his very exotic look. And Kyle's song, titled Lighter, has been composed by him jointly with Adam Woods, whom you probably know from Melody Festival.
No matter the distance, don't feel any different, I'll give it all. When I breathe you in, then I feel your skin, I feel it coming alive.
Now let's take a look at the lyrics of the song which will represent Norway in Eurovision 2025. The song tells us a story how Kyle broke free from an unhappy relationship. Kyle is telling us about golden girl dressed in ice with a heart as dark as night. She was keeping him hooked on her line and got him to dim his light. but it will not happen anymore because the reins that kept him at her mercy, he will burn them to the ground. Even having millions of signs that it's not really working and that he should escape, he realizes just now that it's time to break free. He sings, "Nothing can burn me now, I will be my own lighter." So Kyle is luckily now happy with himself, not needing this girl anymore. So sometimes there is no need to hold on to relationships which are making you unhappy, that you're losing the spark from your eyes. And so it's great that Kyle managed to find the spark for him again. As I have already heard the song, I think we will just directly go to the live performance. There is no need to react to the MP3 track. So it's Lighter by Kyle Alessandro as performed live in the Oslo Spectrum, which actually has hosted Eurovision 2010.
A heart as dark as night. You got me to dim my light, no more.
It's very interesting that he's wearing this kind of chainmail. I'm not really sure why, maybe just to show that he's a true fighter, that he has found strength to break free.
Done your line, no more.
Very effective visuals. I really like the background, even the small statues with the stairs, they look very effective. He's working on the cameras perfectly. Yeah, really excellent performance.
I'll be my own lighter.
The song is definitely very catchy, very addictive. I think it's a perfect performance for Eurovision stage. The song, of course, reminds of many other Eurovision entries, but by this, it's not getting worse. I think that's what people expect when they watch Eurovision, and that's what Norway is giving them.
I should have known that it was time to break free. I'll burn them to the ground.
I think what is maybe missing a little bit is that Kyle Alessandro is maybe interacting a little bit more with the camera, maybe giving a little wink to the audience or smiling a bit more, so he looks a little bit scared. I mean, he's just 18 years old, but I think he will get more confidence towards May.
I lost my mind. I had to walk 100,000.
I think this pre-chorus is actually the strongest part of the song. It sounds really, really epic.
Walk 100,000 miles. I'm not afraid.
Very effective visual actually with this fire right in front of the camera. Yeah, it looks really cool.
I'll be my own lighter. I feel this burn.
He's such a confident performer. As I have said, maybe just a little bit more emotion towards the camera would elevate it, but still it's very impressive how he can dance so well, sing so well while being just 18 years old. This part really has some vibe of Zari by Marina Sati. Of course, a big note has to be in a Eurovision performance. It also reminds me a little bit of Fuego in some ways, so it's really like a lot of Eurovision cliches in this performance, but it's just a very polished, excellent performance. Yeah, great. I think Norway did a really good job in order to qualify to the final. So this performance definitely has a lot in common with many other performances from the previous Norwegian selections. So maybe it was just pending for Norway since a couple of years so that they finally sent an EDM song, and I think Kyle Alessandro is an excellent choice to represent the genre on the Eurovision stage. But now let's take a look at the Norwegian history in Eurovision semifinals and see how well they did in accordance with the televoting. As you might remember, when I was taking a look last year, Norway was definitely #1 country in accordance with the last 15 years, because they missed qualifying only once in accordance with the televote, and there was no country which managed to qualify on each and every occasion. But now we actually have two countries, Luxembourg and also Sweden, who was automatic qualifier last year, now taking part in the semifinals, and these two countries never failed to qualify in accordance with the televoting. That's why Norway has lost 2 positions, but it's still a big powerhouse, which we kind of always see in the Eurovision finals, at least in accordance with the televote. And if we take a look at their last 5 years, Norway has lost 3 positions, so now they're ranked 5th from 31 countries taking part in the semifinals this year, because of course last year maybe their result in the semifinal was not so high, they were really borderline qualifiers, but still Norway is a country from which we would always expect that they should qualify, and I think with Kyle Alessandro, there is no universe where Norway would not qualify. And now let's take a look which semi-final is kinda unlucky, because one spot has been already reserved for Norway among the 10 finalists. So you can see on your screen that Norway will take part in the first semi-final and in the second half. I will definitely not be surprised if this entry will be close in the first semi-final, because producers tend to put this type of songs towards the end so that people want to watch till the end and also don't get disappointed and just finish the semi-final on this kind of positive, good mood note. But what do the bookmakers think about Norwegian entry this year? As you can see on your screen, Norway is currently ranked 26th, being below countries like Georgia, Denmark, Poland, Azerbaijan, but above Switzerland, Albania, Croatia, Latvia, and Slovenia. Well, I think this ranking will change many times. Obviously, Norwegian entry will be in the final, and I think it will be somewhere towards top 10. I would even imagine it being in top 10. I think Kyle Alessandro can definitely have similar result to Marcus and Martinez last year. Maybe his song is a little bit less modern than the song of Marcus and Martinez. I think it's a little bit more simple, but his charisma, his live presence, they will definitely bring him high, and I'm 100% sure that Norway will be in top 20 and most probably somewhere towards top 10. Speaking about the staging concepts, you know, it's Norway, and Norway puts so much effort into organizing their Norwegian Melodi Grand Prix that the entries usually already look absolutely excellent, and they don't have to change almost anything, just kind of adapting the entry to the big Eurovision stage. So I think Kyle Alessandro doesn't really need a new staging. I would say maybe a bit different costume wouldn't be bad. I'm not really a huge fan of this chainmail. I just think they can come up with something even more creative, and also this construction which is behind him on stage, I think they can also put some projections on it, just playing with it a little bit more and not just letting it stand there without any super illumination. So that's what I have thought about the Norwegian entry. I'm pretty sure it will really decorate the Eurovision final. It will not fight for the win, but not all songs have to. So please let me know down below in the comments what have you thought about this entry. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will definitely see you very soon in my next video. Bye bye.